I'm Eric Butts.
And I'm Jim
We are
Butts.
SuicideFantasyFootball.com, live from the War Room, giving you our top 5 quarterbacks. Now, our quarterbacks, we're considering this a 4-point touchdown league. None of those ridiculous, you get 6 points, because that just overestimates the value of the quarterback. We don't agree with that in fantasy football leagues, even though we're in one. So, Jim, give me your top 5 quarterbacks in a 4-point league.
Can I get a drum roll? Number 1 quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, Michael Vick.
By the way, you can tell my drum roll was white guy because I couldn't even get it in rhythm for like 5 seconds.
There you go.
All right, number 2.
I think, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about Michael
Go ahead.
Vick. People are going to laugh. They're going to think he's his first year back. But
He's going to be dogging it.
Who let the dogs out? He is the ultimate offensive weapon. With the way he scores rushing touchdowns, especially in a 4-point league, that gives you a ton of extra points. I think he's going to have an even better year than he had last year. He's used to the offense now. He's got more weapons, more time with Deshaun, more time with Macklin. I think he's going to be the best quarterback in fantasy.
If you're not taking health into consideration, I don't disagree.
I agree.
All right,
number 2, Aaron Rodgers. I thought he was going to be my number 1 pick last year. I went back and forth with him and Chris Johnson. I wound up picking Chris Johnson, but I wish I would have picked Aaron Rodgers. He's got 4 incredible wide receivers and a good offensive line. Number 3, I'm going with the mainstay, Peyton Manning. A little concerned about his neck, but really, in every league I've ever been in when I drafted Peyton Manning, he did really well for me. I got to love that. Number 4, I'm going Drew Brees. I think he has a bounce-back year. I think they're going to be hungry. I think his wide receivers, Colson's going to be healthy this year. I think with the new running back in the system, they're going to have a lot more consistency. Number 5, I hate him, but I'm picking Phillip Rivers. I can't stand the guy. He's so overrated. But for fantasy football, he did lose LaDainian Tomlinson. I think Ryan Matthews, if he establishes himself as a running back that can stay on the field, that'll help Phillip Rivers a lot. He's my number 5.
All right, I got a similar lineup in a little bit of a different order. I think Drew Brees is going to have such a bounce-back year this year. He's going to go back over 4,000 yards. Meacham's going to be healthy, and Colston's going to be healthy. They're going to get a little bit of help out of the backfield with Ingram, and I think Drew Brees is my number 1 quarterback. Not to say I would pick him where the number 1 quarterback's going to go, but he's my number 1 guy. He's the guy I'm targeting my fantasy leagues this year.
So that's what you're bragging about, but that's not what you're going to do.
No, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and pick Drew Brees in every league. I just won't go with him I won't make him the first quarterback taken.
Gotcha.
But he's my number 1 guy.
Gotcha.
Second, I go Mike Vick. I think Mike Vick is a beast. I do worry about injury a little bit, but especially when you get those points for rushing and touchdowns, you can't overestimate the value of a Mike Vick if he's healthy for at least 14 of the 17 games. Number 3, I'm going Aaron Rodgers. I think that's where you had him too. He could be the number 1 guy when it's all said and done. I wouldn't be shocked. I think Donald Driver's at the end of his career. I don't know if Jordy Nelson's the guy they think he's going to be. Jennings is the man. Finley, is he coming back healthy? Grant, is he coming back healthy? Some question marks. I'm putting him at number 3. Number 4, I am going Peyton Manning. It's hard to have Peyton Manning as your number 4 guy, but when you think of the 3 guys I have in front of him, it's hard to argue it. Number 5, I am leaving Phillip Rivers off, and a lot of people are going to disagree with it. I like winners. I still think Tom Brady's got it. I think no matter who they sign, and they're going to bring a veteran wide receiver in to fill that Randy Moss role, it's going to make Tom Brady the number 5 quarterback in fantasy football.
I don't think Tom Brady's going to be. I wouldn't even put him in my top 10.
Jim, he was like number 1 or number 2 last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I think the ride's over for them. I think they're done. They're going to have less wide receivers than they had last year. He had Moss for a little bit. I just think it's done. Welker's a question.
Wes Welker.
They're going to have Julian Edelman.
Julian Edelman could be Wes Welker.
Just a bunch of. I just can't bank on it. You know what I mean? I put it this way. Put a gun to my head. Who'd you rather have, Matt Schaub or Tom Brady? I'd rather have Matt Schaub. He's got Andre Johnson. He's got a lot of weapons.
Besides the fact that I think they will probably stink if they don't really bolster their defense and always be coming from behind, I would not put Schaub over Brady. Although I do hear where you're coming from. Believe it or not, I don't disagree with you.
There you go.
All right, so that's our top 5. We want to hear your top 5, or if we missed anyone, or you want to rip us for any of the people we have on our list, send Jim an email.
That's
Jim
right.
at suicidefantasysports.com. Also, follow us on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter, SFFcom. And also like our Suicide Fantasy girls, smoking hot girls who write over their scantily cladly dressed bodies, SFF is my BFF. If you like us, you're eventually going to be one of the people who get to vote for which of them wins $250. and gets to be our Suicide Fantasy girl.
So you can get fantasy football information and look at hot chicks.
Yeah, the way it goes is fantasy football, hot chicks, football. That's the order of stuff we like at suicidefantasyfootball.com.
There you go.
Check us
Signing
out. Butts and Butts.